Park was built in the 1960s. The population began to expand and the modern era was dawning. Post-war and the age of rock and roll had arrived. Houses were being built by the score, and gradually the rural landscape behind Patrick Street rose brick by brick along the horizon and into the tightly knit community now known as Barcroft Park. Built when owning a car was a luxury, the narrow roads were suitable for the low flow of traffic. But the times, they were a-changing, and how. The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, then the noughties. And now in 2014, cars are banked up, not enough parking spaces are available, and there is utter congestion daily. As you can see, it would be impossible for two cars to pass in this narrow space. Councillor Liz Kimmins, a native of Barcroft Park, spoke to Destination Newry. Liz, what is the issue with the traffic here in Barcroft Park?
Well, Sarah, just in these the first and second street, there's serious issues with traffic being able to move around and getting access to the properties. Because of the narrow streets, it's very difficult to, if you meet a car coming in the opposite direction, and it's very difficult to get manoeuvred as well. So it's causing a problem for residents over a long period of time now, and we're hoping to get this resolved.
And is it a bigger problem more recently?
Well, yes, I suppose in the last number of years, a lot more houses have more cars. You know, you're talking 2 and 3 cars per house a lot of the time, so there's a greater volume of traffic using this road and trying to get in and out of the houses. So yeah, the problem is increasing all the time.
And what do you think is causing it?
Well, I suppose, as I said, there's a greater volume of traffic using it, you know, because we have a lot more car users in the area compared to maybe a number of years ago, and you know, there's not great parking facilities for residents, so trying to get in and out can be a problem. And as I said, if you meet a car coming in the opposite direction, a lot of the time cars have to reverse the whole way out back onto the hill, which is a very dangerous manoeuvre as well, and can cause problems in the area as well.
And what do you think the remedy might be?
Well, we have met with roads. I organised a meeting with a representative from the road service and brought residents along to that, and a representative from the community association who had the opportunity to air their views on this. And we feel that a one-way system, which all people in the area could follow, would help to resolve this problem. If all traffic's moving in the one direction, then there'll be no issues, hopefully.
And how do you hope this will happen? How do you going to make it happen?
Well, we've put the request in with roads, and they are at the minute considering it. And I'll be liaising with them and with other agencies to put to show their support for this scheme, so that residents can access their homes, etc., more freely.
And when do you hope to hear from the roads department?
Hopefully in the next few weeks. Now, we only had our meeting last week, but they said they will look at it fairly quickly. So hopefully we'll have a response as soon as possible.
I'm sure when these houses were built, there weren't as many cars as there are now, so the build-up, the roads were obviously not made initially to accommodate the volume of cars in the future.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, Sarah, because when these houses were built way back in the 60s, I don't think they expected anybody to have any cars, never mind the volume of cars that are at the houses now. So we need to look at something to try and accommodate the changes over the period of time.
Hopefully the residents of Barcroft Park will hear some good and decongesting news in the near future. This is Sarah Gilbert reporting for Destination Newry.